So if you've been following along with my work this week, then you know that today we are entering into some energetics that are representing a very insanely powerful and potent window for manifesting our dreams into reality. We are stepping fully into this energy today, and it is going to continue on until tomorrow. So definitely, you guys, today we are going to be wanting to take advantage of the highest octaves of these energetics. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Wednesday, September 29th, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. And we have a very significant energetic day going on today, like I said, in terms of really opening this window for us to start to ground our dreams into reality and build those, make that our trajectory going forward. Number one, we have the sun today coming into an exact trine with Saturn retrograde. This was sort of like a both planets simultaneous thing that happened. Saturn retrograded back last night to 7 degrees of Aquarius, and the sun moved from 6 degrees of Libra to 7 degrees of Libra, forming a trine between the two planets. Now, the sun and Saturn, this is a master builder energetic. And just full disclosure, you guys, I wrote a ton of notes on the energetics for today. I just looked at it and started writing. So I apologize if I appear to be reading from my notes today more than usual, but I just universe gave me a lot of prompts and my light is falling over. Sorry about that. Okay, so, still falling over. Let's see if we can get it to stand up properly. Sometimes this is the trickiest part of my broadcast. There we go. Okay, so sun and trine to Saturn, just some bullet points to give you guys a basic overview of how this energetic works. Focused, diligent effort and energy towards laying new foundations. Saturn rules foundations. The sun is our energy. Things falling into place with this, with the trine being in effect. This is not an energy that we have to force or push. It just, when there's trines in effect, things just sort of fall into place. And that is what is going on between these two planets right now. Rebuilding the structures in our lives to be more in authentic alignment with our true personal creative self-expression and authenticity. Saturn retrograde, restructuring. Highly disciplined energy, and we're able to channel all of our energies towards any objective we really wish to achieve when this energetic is in effect. Take out the fact that we have this other aspect in effect today that is really emphasizing our ability to co-create with the divine and to really imprint these desires and like pursue a process of manifestation with them. Well, we have this aspect in effect today as well that is really helping us to channel our energy into achieving wishes and goals. That's another aspect of the dynamic between the sun and a trine to Saturn. Also, it is great energy for organizing, planning, and ordering our affairs and priorities. Efforts begun under this transit will achieve lasting results. So we know that what we start to reform, rebuild, the new foundations that we're laying with this aspect are going to be enduring, and they're going to be taking us down a long road into the future. Efforts begun now, I just said that, will achieve lasting results. And another dynamic of this aspect is that we want to examine our life and the structures that we've built already and reevaluate. Remember, Saturn is retrograde. Reevaluate what we want to build going forward and what changes we need to make to the structures, the forms, the foundations that we've already built in order to make these adjustments to our plan, our foundation, our blueprint going forward. So overall, this Sun trine Saturn energy, Saturn forms things, it structures things, it rules foundations. It also is like details and planning and perfectionism. Saturn brings forms into material existence. And then again, the sun is like our life force. It's our true personal creative self-expression. It is what it's like what makes us feel alive, what gives us the inspiration to do life. And with these two planets coming together, it's like things are falling into place so that we can build and form new foundations in alignment with that personal creative self-expression and that true authenticity. So this is one half of the energy that's going on today that is really comprising this whole grand energetic of helping us to bring our dreams into a physical, tangible reality moving forward as we are co-creating with universe this new path ahead that is moving us in this trajectory towards the age of Aquarius, as we are all sort of right now adapting to the new energies coming in and really being called to realign so many different aspects of ourselves and our lives in order to begin embodying this energetic so that we can collectively make the transition from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, which is the foundation of my work right now and this process that we are all collectively undergoing, which is leading to, a lot of chaos that we're seeing all over the world and in our lives right now as things are really shooken up. Past power dynamics are being exposed, and we're being liberated in a lot of ways in order to come back into that personal creative self-expression, that true authenticity, aligning with what is truly and deeply at the root of our heart and our true authentic desires. And universe wants to create a life for us that is now in alignment with these things, instead of us forcing ourselves to sort of align to the societal ideals and expectations for us. So that's really the process that we're on. And today, as we go through this energetic, and tomorrow, universe is really assisting us in pursuing and creating and manifesting our dreams from that place of true creative personal self-expression, authenticity, and our deepest desires of our heart and our soul. I want to talk about the Sabian symbols for just a second for this Sun trine Saturn today, because it is interesting, you guys. The Sabian symbols today are we'll talk about it in a minute, but just very interesting and repetitive symbolism coming through. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Sabian symbols, what they are is a group of symbols that represents each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever a planet is at a specific point, making an aspect, discharging a specific degree, we can look to the Sabian symbol, and it gives us more information about why this aspect is truly taking place in the context of the grand unfolding cosmic saga that is constantly moving us through time and space, and right now on this trajectory into the age of Aquarius. So I always look at the Sabian symbols because they just give us more clarity, more information, okay? Today, the Sun that is in that trine to Saturn is at 7 degrees of Libra. And that degree is a woman feeding chickens and protecting them from hawks. And then we just had Saturn retrograde back to 7 degrees of Aquarius, which is how this trine is being formed today. And that degree is a child, where is it? A child is seen being born out of an eggshell. So very interesting. So it's with this trine today, it's we are building and birthing something completely new, completely foreign, but it will elevate us and it will liberate us along these bird themes, okay? And then what we are building and birthing now, we will need to defend and to protect and to nurture throughout this process. It's almost as though we know what our dreams are, we know what we're aligned with, we know what we want to manifest, and this process is happening. But there is some aspect of the symbolism today, even though things are just falling into place, that tells us that we may need to defend, protect, and make sure that we are continuing to nurture what we act on, what we begin to build and manifest under these energetics, because it's not like we can just start the process and then walk away and forget about it. Usually that is the best thing to do when manifesting, but it seems like there are just some other forces potentially at play that may, throughout the course of this manifestation process, cause us to feel a little bit threatened, or we may need to defend and, continue to nurture and protect what we are hoping to bring into creation. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. It's also being sort of highlighted through the symbolism that's coming through. So we are in this process of manifestation. We are in this process of laying new foundations, but we need to be diligent about what we're working on, and we need to keep putting our energy towards it. And we need to not sort of just like abandon it after this window period closes, okay? Next, let's talk about aspect number 2 that's in effect today. And this is also exciting. This is a grand trine in water signs between Venus in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces, and the moon in Cancer. So generally, whenever we have Venus and Neptune making a positive aspect together, this brings like everything beautiful, everything divine, everything inspiration, compassion, empathy, because Neptune is really the higher octave of the Venus energy and has a lot to do with like the high heart frequency, divine connection, and also like unconditional love. And then we have the moon in there too, which is all about our emotions and our feelings. And so we're really embodying this energy on an emotional level today. And this specific trine of planets that's in water signs, which is relating to our feelings, this specific lineup is really what is giving us a tremendous ability to align with our deepest desires, align with simultaneously this divine faith and divine inspiration. And then through our feelings and through our emotions, also being in alignment with these things, really begin to imprint them on the invisible planes of reality. And then it's like the Sun Saturn aspect today grabs them from the invisible plane, brings them down into the material plane, and really begins to manifest them. So we have both parts that are very necessary in the process of manifestation happening together simultaneously. And again, this is beginning today, and it will also carry over to an extent into tomorrow when we'll have more energy coming in to sort of like accentuate and finish off this process. But today, in terms of this grand trine in water that we have going on, like I said, this is the height of creativity, divine inspiration, intuitive connection, spiritual alignment, high heart energy, empathy, compassion, and unconditional love, all the vibrations necessary for manifestation in this reality. This is the process, okay? This is the way that we use this energy to manifest under these dynamics. First of all, we visualize our highest ideals, Neptune and Pisces, trine to Venus, in alignment with our deepest truth and desires, Venus and Scorpio. And we really just daydream about what we truly want to create. And this is, daydreaming about what we truly want to create is so emblematic of Venus in a trine to Neptune. And then the next step in the process is surrendering this image of divine inspiration and desire to God and to the divine, holding faith that we already have it on the invisible planes of reality. Everything comes through the invisible planes of reality first, and then it trickles through into the physical material planes of reality. So we hold the faith that we are creating in the invisible realms, okay? And then we have to release any type of expectations about how, why, when, under what circumstances this thing will come into fruition. Then we fill ourselves with love and gratitude for the prayers that we have faith and confidence are being answered now. We act our faith by preparing for our dream to come true now before we see it or we see them actually manifesting in the material plane. We act our faith. So it's like we have to act and behave and feel. Feeling is a very, very important part of this, aligning emotionally, and we have the moon there today to do it. Feel as though you would if you already had what you're wishing for. So we have to really embody the feeling, live it in your imagination, how it would be if you were already living that experience. And then you actually prepare for it. Like, let's say you want to manifest a new house. You go out and you start shopping for home decor, decorations, start planning how you're going to arrange things. You don't think about the fact that you have no idea how this thing can actually come into fruition, but you begin to prepare for it in the physical world, even though you're only working with it in the invisible plane at this point in time. So act, behave, and feel as though you would if you already had what you're wishing for, and then live that reality now. And it will begin to take material form in this physical plane in divine timing according to divine circumstances, however universe creates the plan for these things to come into effect for you. And again, this is working in correspondence today with the sun in trine to Saturn as well. And there is even more support universally, cosmically, energetically for this process of physical manifestation to be triggered through what is being imprinted on the invisible plane. And that's really what today's energy really is. It's like we're forming a tangible bridge between the invisible plane of reality, Venus, Neptune, the moon, and the physical material planes of reality, the sun and Saturn, both of these things together. There's like a bridge going on. It's like we have this really profound ability to imprint on the invisible plane today, while simultaneously we have a very, very strong ability for the invisible plane to be brought down and actually practically, materially, physically manifested. And we have like the energy to put towards, and like the ability to be very focused and to plan and to we have the energy to put towards laying these new foundations, making these reevaluations, building these new structures physically, materially, while simultaneously what we are imprinting on the invisible planes of reality is coming down through. So it really is like a very magical and significant combination of energetics in effect that, like I said, really reminds me of this bridge between the invisible planes and the material planes that is like, it's like almost like walking through a door. Like usually when you're imprinting on the invisible planes, it takes some time for the material planes to catch up to it. It's like, we have to wait a little while for things to really begin to fall into place materially. But that's what they're doing today, is they're falling into place physically and materially with the sun and trine to Saturn, while we also have this tremendous, tremendous ability to imprint our deepest desires in alignment with our spiritual connection, spiritual inspiration, in alignment with our feelings and our emotions, which are this very powerful driving force in manifestation. So we're imprinting, and then it's actually structuring simultaneously. So what we are creating right now in our mind's eye is very likely to be taking concrete, tangible, physical form very soon, as long as we can go through this process of manifestation properly. And again, that, like I said, visualizing our highest ideals in alignment with our true desires, daydreaming and imprinting and envisioning what we truly want to create, surrendering this image to God and to the divine, imprinting it on the invisible plane, holding faith that we already have it there, and that we just need to be patient and wait for it to come into fruition on the physical plane. And then filling ourselves with that love and gratitude for these prayers answered, and acting our faith and acting as though it's coming to us. We have it now, and feeling as though carrying the energy that we would if we already had what we wish to create. That is the process, and we just have so much assistance in this process coming through today via the energetic resonances coming down from the cosmos. So very powerful day. Also, though, you guys, we are very much, like I said in the beginning, there is this aspect to it where we feel like we're needing to defend our values and desires today from, and we possibly may be feeling under attack in some sort of way, or by some maybe unseen threat. And the reason why I'm saying this, we have some interesting Sabian symbols in effect for this grand trine in water as well. First of all, we have Venus at 22 degrees of Scorpio today, and that degree where she's forming the grand trine to Neptune and the moon is hunters protected by heavy clothing are shooting wild ducks. And then we have Neptune at 22 degrees of Pisces, a prophet bringing down the new law from Sinai. And then the moon will be at 22 Cancer, a young woman awaiting a sailboat. So when I put these energetics together, Again, it's like we are very much possibly defending our values, Venus, and our desires, Venus, at that degree today. Possibly feeling under attack from maybe some sort of unseen threat. Well camouflaged, what was it? Hunters protected by having heavy clothing are shooting wild ducks. Also, though, it's like, so we're on the offensive today as we align with our true self-value and our true self-worth, and we're integrating the new truths we are coming to realize about ourselves. A prophet bringing down the new law from Sinai. It's like we're coming to this greater spiritual understanding. We're coming to new realizations about how we want to conduct ourselves in terms of our morals and our values moving forward into the future of our life in correspondence to these new foundations that we are laying. So integrating the new truths we are coming to realize about ourselves. And we have a desire to sail away from the past into the future, which is much more in alignment with our heart and our spiritual calling, the woman awaiting a sailboat. So it's like Venus at this degree about the duck hunters, it's like we are defending our wishes, our hopes, our dreams. It's like we feel like we just really need to protect them from some reason. Like I'm almost getting the feeling like other people in our lives might not necessarily approve of them, and we might be afraid that they are going to like in some way possibly like try to sabotage them or something. Or it may not even be people. It may just be like circumstances or like the greater overall climate of things. Feeling like there may be some hidden threat in us going through this process of bringing our dreams into reality. But it's because we're aligning with these new laws, these new energies, these new frequencies, these new Aquarian archetypes, and this new Aquarian paradigm that's coming in. And we really want to sail away in that direction and leave behind all of the old dogmas, all of the old things that kept us out of being able to come into this energy of really manifesting our dreams. So that's sort of how I'm seeing this combination, like feeling like it's like almost risky for us for some reason to embrace pursuing our dreams. But we have to do it because we're coming into a new alignment with the new law, the new way, the new values, and the new self-worth and self-love that are really surfacing within us as a result of this enhanced connection to the divine. And we're wanting it to like really sail away from the past, go in a whole new journey in a whole new direction with this. And really though, that same combination, like I said, is what is helping us to create and bring these dreams into reality. But there is just this aspect of the energetics today of feeling like there may be some hidden threat or something that we need to defend and protect ourselves from. So we are protecting ourselves while we create this like brand new path, but it's not stopping us. It's like whatever threat or undetected threat there may be through us going through this process, it's not stopping us. We're going anyways. But it's like, maybe we are just feeling a little bit insecure about it, or like we might be making ourselves some type of target by going through this process, but we're doing it anyways because that's just where we're at right now. Now I want to talk just for a minute about the Sabian symbols and the symbolism coming through today. And it's very bizarre actually, because we have 5 different birds being spoken about in today's Sabians. And I mean, birds are emblematic of the air frequency, thoughts, information, communication, and also like an elevated perspective, a bird's eye view, and also this like very ultimate form of like freedom and liberation and this just ability to like soar and fly and rise above, right? And so because we have the sun at 7 Libra, a woman feeding chickens and protecting them from hawks. There's 2 birds. And then we have where Mercury is today, 26 degrees of Libra. Mercury's moving to 25 degrees of Libra later tonight and will form a square to Pluto that's coming up tomorrow. But this Sabian symbol is an eagle and a large white dove turning into each other. There's 2 more birds. And then we have the degree of Venus today. Hunters protected by having clothing are shooting wild ducks. So that is 5 birds today. And then just to make it even a little bit more interesting, what was the degree that Saturn moved to today for the trine with the sun? 7 degrees of Aquarius. A child is seen being born from an eggshell. So this is really like We are being born, being reborn, or like metamorphosizing or transfiguring into the representation of true liberation and an elevated perspective, an elevated perception. All of these birds, all of these different bird symbolism. And again, this is representative of the air element. Universe wants us to fly literally into the age of Aquarius. And I found that to be like a very unique combination that we have going on today, because it's, there's 360 different Sabian symbols, and they're all like, most of them are all completely different. And the fact that we would have three separate symbols talking about five different birds, and then Saturn talking about a child being born out of an eggshell on this day in this window of this like very enhanced and supported, creatively inspired manifestation to help us restructure the future of our lives. It's like really telling us that we all need to sort of take flight right now, okay? Like we're being born, we're being reborn out of an eggshell, and we're sprouting wings, and we really need to learn to fly. And then another theme present in the Sabian symbols today is water. We have a couple Sabian symbols referencing water as well. The moon today is for that grand trine with Venus and Neptune will be at 22 Cancer, water sign. And, we do have this grand trine in water today as well. And then funny enough, the sun in trine to Saturn today, those are both air signs. So the air and the water very much emphasized by the energetics today. And again, that degree 22 Cancer, where the moon will be a young woman awaiting a sailboat, obviously referencing the water. And then we have Mars today at 10 degrees of Libra, air sign, again, the air. And this degree is a canoe approaching safety through dangerous waters. So we do have this water theme very present today as well. And it's interesting to me, you guys, because right now, this collective shift, this collective transition, this metamorphosis that we're all going from, this transition from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, we are leaving the depths, we are leaving the water, and we are transcending into the air, into a 2,000-year period that is going to be ruled by the air archetype and everything that is emblematic of that and that represents, including, birds. So possibly a treacherous or dangerous journey that we've been on to get our wings, but we are entering safer waters right now. And we can't be afraid to fly, all right? That is really what I feel like is coming through very strongly with all of this bird symbolism, is that we really need to embrace taking flight at this point in time, regardless of the way that we want to do it, regardless of the species of bird you want to be. You want to be a hawk, you want to be a chicken, you want to be an eagle, you probably don't want to be a duck, because those are being hunted under the energetics today. But, or you can be, what did I say? Did I say the dove? You can be a dove too. All of those things. You can be any bird you want, as long as you're willing to sprout wings and to begin to fly. And then again, it's very like crazy. This stuff never ceases to blow my mind, y'all. We have the Earth today, which is talking about the state of things on the ground. At 7 degrees of Aries. Remember, the Earth is always in a polar opposition to the Sun at 7 degrees of Libra. And this degree is a man successfully expressing himself in two realms at once. And so to me, it's so funny, because today there is such an emphasis on these two realms, the realms of the water and the realms of the air. And it's like, this degree on the ground today, it is referencing in a way this massive polarity, because some people are like still looking to the water, still resonating with the water, still feeling more comfortable in the water and like fearing the journey ahead. But some people are sprouting their wings and beginning to fly and resonating with these incoming energetics, resonating with the true desire to liberate themselves and to take flight and to begin to co-create with universe going forward out of fear. And so, it's funny because like birds can experience life in the air and on the ground, or like in the water as well. And we're doing both right now, according to the placement of the Earth today. And, it really speaks to what is actually going on, where we have this very strong polarity of people, this like mass dichotomy right now in the way people are perceiving reality. And all of this bird symbolism and all of this water symbolism and all of this air symbolism coming in today in the like context of these other energetics today that are really inspiring us to manifest our dreams into reality. So, you know, we're doing both right now. A man successfully expressing himself in two realms at once. It's like the human species is really successfully expressing itself according to these two very strong polarities or dichotomies right now. And then there are the people who are beginning to integrate both, or who are, you know, transcending from one to the other, growing, evolving, going through this process that universe is taking us all collectively through as we transition into the age of Aquarius. So found just the way that these energetics, these Sabian symbols fell into place today to be, you know, very interesting in the context of everything else. So that's basically what I had today, what I want to talk about today. Pending tomorrow, we have more big energetics coming in. We're going to have a Mercury square Pluto tomorrow. We're going to have a Venus and square to Jupiter tomorrow. And that is actually going to be expanding all of the imprinting energy and all of the groundwork that's being laid today. We also have Mars coming into an exact opposition with Chiron tomorrow. That is a big energetic. And Mars is conjunct the sun, and this is moving closer and closer, and this is adding a lot of heightened energy, fiery energy, ambition, passion, motivation to the whole picture of everything that's going on right now as well. So that is really what I have for you guys today in terms of the astrology. Let's get into the tarot card of the day. Again, right on point, I asked Universe this morning to give me a card to clarify how the collective is dealing with these energetics that are in play right now. The card that came out was the Hierophant, and then on the back of the deck, we got the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So generally the Hierophant, this refers to like tradition and to like what's expected of us and convention. And it also can symbolize like this choice between like liberty and law, or like following the rules and following like your own ideals, your own heart and stuff like that. But on the back of the deck, we had the Four of Pentacles upside down. And the Four of Pentacles is about like grasping onto something and like not wanting to let go. So the way that this combination of energetics, this cards are, this symbolism is explaining, presenting itself. It's like letting go of convention with this, a choice, like I said, again, a choice between the law and, you know, liberty, but we're letting go of like very, like convention and tradition and order of things, letting go of the rules and dogmas we've been holding on to for a very long time, opening to a new way of being, a less traditional relationship to authority and spiritual connection, and letting go of ideologies, which is exactly what we need to be doing as we go through this process of recreating and re-imprinting our true desires on the invisible planes of reality so that then they can manifest into the physical world. So that is what I have in terms of the tarot today. Again, it is talking about this process that we are going through of letting go of dogmas, letting go of past belief systems, letting go of convention and tradition so that we can really begin to follow a brand new path in alignment with our truth and authenticity. I don't have time to grab a synchronicity card for you guys today. I will try to get to that tomorrow because my camera's about to shut off. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think they would like it. I really appreciate it. Leave me comments and come back with me tomorrow so we can continue on day 2 of these dreams into reality energetics. Bye guys.